That's correct. Here we go. I've got my top 10 teams entering the National Football League season, presented by Total Wireless. And it's completely different from my way too soon power rankings of June.
Oh, really?
Because those were way too soon.
They're way too soon.
You know?
They're way too
Nothing's
soon.
changed.
You know what's changed? My thought process. And again, I don't know if you just heard the drop. These are my power rankings. All right?
Sorry.
All right, here we go. Number 10 on this list. They weren't on my list in June, but they are now. And it's really amazing how this team, I was leading the charge of saying, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? What were they thinking in the draft by choosing Michael Penix when they had just signed Kirk Cousins? Because they could have had one of the best defenders in the draft. They had the top pick of any defender in the draft, and they went ahead and they handled their business for the future and then signed Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. So the Falcons are 10 on this list, guys.
I liked it.
The Falcons should be really good. They should be top third of the NFL season good. And again, I was like, they should have Dallas Turner. They could have taken any defensive back. And anybody that they took, with all due respect to them, with their high ceiling that they could have had, they weren't Matthew Judon or Justin Simmons. So they rectified what I thought was a missed opportunity with some grown-ass men adding to them to a defense that's already got Jesse Bates and Raheem Morris as the coach. This team should be better with Kirk Cousins being healthy. Number 9 on this list is a team that I do believe I'm about to hear from my right is way too soon to have on this list. But I'm putting the Cowboys here. I'm putting the Cowboys at 9. I still believe they are too thin in this roster. I do believe that they are too thin. They got a left tackle that's a rookie because their best left tackle is protecting Aaron Rodgers for the Jets.
That is true.
To me, I am genuinely concerned about this team's depth. That's all I'm saying. I might be wrong. We might be proven otherwise. You could say, where was Deron Bland? Was he depth? Well, he was also now the depth that's a starter that's gone.
He's gone
for the moment, for 2 months. I still believe they're talented enough to be a top third team in the NFL, but the Cowboys are 9.
I'll accept that.
This is where I had the Jets, and I've removed them from my list.
Oh, you moved them higher?
No. I just
They're
took
off?
They're off.
Really?
They're off because I'm putting the Miami Dolphins here. I think the Dolphins are winning the division. I'm a believer. I just had to sit here and think about it.
But
The Jets might be on the outside of the periphery of this thing, but
I gotta say, Rich, you're one of the few media people who doesn't have the Jets in the Final Four.
I just need to see it. I just need to see what it looks like because I didn't see it at all last year.
You're a snake-bitten, broken man.
What can I tell you? But if I think the Dolphins are going to win the division, how am I not putting them on my power rankings?
Well,
to
you
start
could have the
season?
Jets 10.
I'm putting the Miami Dolphins 8.
I'm with it.
Number 7 on this list is a team that I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I think this team's going to go very far by the end of the season. But for the moment to start the season, I need to see when Jamar Chase is coming back, and I need to see just how good they are. He did practice today. Maybe that's a good sign. But the Bengals are 7 on this list. I think Joe Burrow could be MVP of the season this year. And I think this team is going to be back, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's walking in Paris with a hole in his suit on the back. He looks like Eminem, and he's bringing a game that's like 8 Mile. You know what I mean? Number 6 on this list are the Houston Texans. I think they are for real. I think they got better, and I think that they are going to be a team that could actually make some folks in this town by the end of the year a little bit upset.
Ooh.
They might be the team, along with the Bengals, that could be if there's any AFC teams that can stand in the way of the Chiefs by the end of the year, I think it's the Texans. Even though I'm putting the Ravens above them right now, I still think I have to pay enough homage to what the Ravens did last year to put them in my top 5 right now.
Yes.
They have a 2-time MVP and the reigning MVP of the league. I got to pay them respect of putting them in the top 5. Even though, later on my AFC North prediction before we finish this show might surprise you a little bit. I'm putting the Ravens here at 5, and I'm putting the Eagles at 4. Guys,
I'm with you.
I said one of my top storylines entering this season is not only how good Saquon Barkley can be, but can he supplant Christian McCaffrey as the best all-around back in the league? Because the way that he's been added to the Eagles, I'm wondering if Saquon can turbocharge the Eagles in the same way that Christian McCaffrey turbocharged the San Francisco 49ers. That's how good they can be. I think their secondary, despite having Bradbury hurt right now, I think the kids that they drafted, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, I think they can really significantly add to this team. And I put the Eagles 4 here, and I do hope that their coordinators changing coordinators fix their problems. Mm-hmm. I'm putting the Niners here at 3, and the reason why I'm doing that is because last night on NFL Network, I predicted the Chiefs would beat the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I'm putting the Lions 2.
Makes sense.
They did have the Niners where they wanted them last year, and some questionable decisions in the second half changed some fates. Yeah. And number 1, I am paying respect to our hosts for the week and the 2-time defending champs, who I believe will be 3-peat champs. The Kansas City Chiefs enter my season, our season, top-ranked team as the top-ranked team in my power rankings. And so there you have it. Those are my top 10 preseason power rankings, or, if you will, kickoff power rankings presented by Total Wireless.